The actual recording went really well. We did most of it in my house, which was really comfortable and really relaxed. And the other bit in the studio again was somewhere where I was really familiar with. So that was really good. And the planning, I think the planning was the important bit. It was just about, I suppose, sectioning things off that you wanted to talk about. I think that worked really well in making the sections, because I suppose you could just sort of ramble and the thing that was surprising, because I think the planning was easy. I don't think we missed anything. Whether it was just my life seemed to be in sections. It was bits about the radio stuff, and then bits about the family stuff, bits about my family now with regards to myself and obviously my wife Margaret and my son Daniel and now my grandkids. So I think the sectioning was really, really important. I think it helped to focus on different parts at different times, and then you sort of pull the memories out of that, I think. And I think the memories come to the top, the ones that are really sort of important to me, but also the better ones, I think, pretty much like come to the top once you've got that section to think about. And I think one of the things that I particularly enjoyed about it, because I don't think I'd have ever done this without going through, is it kind of made me make time to go back and look at old photos and even listen to old radio recordings. That's really important, because I think we take, even probably more so now than we ever do, so many photos. Oddly, you never go back and look at. Going back and looking through that sort of triggered other stuff that I think, oh yeah, I must sort of talk about that. So I think that experience in itself was really nice to do. And it was really nice to, have to make some time to go back and look through things like the old photographs and little bits of old video and relive the memories or bring back the memories, which without going through this process, I might never, ever have done, which was lovely. It was interesting, really, because when I tell them I was doing it, they didn't seem to be, they weren't over-enthused. But I have to say, they've all watched it, and I haven't encouraged them to or said, oh, you must. I think it's been a great shared experience for the family, because it's brought back lots of memories for them, especially with having two sisters that are kind of 15 years apart. So some of the stuff that my older sister will remember, some of the stuff that she forgot about, but also some of the stuff that maybe my younger sister wasn't really knew much about, and she really enjoyed finding that bit out about me, but also things about a mum and dad and stuff like that. That again, maybe we never would have got around to talking about. I had two wonderful grandparents, and they were both fascinating people, and both sadly died too young. And to have been able to delve into their lives a bit more would have been a really lovely experience. So I really hope that Sophie and Poppy, when they get up in age, will, like to find out more about the granddad and then go and visit it. And even their next generation, if they go on to have children of their own, then, it's happened in the past, isn't it? You've got a great granddad, great grandma, who, you see some photos of, but you don't really know them. It's just nice to actually find out that there were actual people that, did live, really interesting lives. And it will be almost like a window in a time that, will be completely different. I mean, the life that we live, I mean, there's been so many changes. I mean, I don't think there'll ever be a generation that'll live through the changes that we've seen, from literally just like having to use a phone box now to have something in your pocket. Just something as simple as that, but there's loads more stuff. Young people are really interested to go back and think, oh, was that what it was really like back then? To read about it in a book, to see it on the TV or whatever, it's one thing, but actually to actually see and hear about the actual stories through a relative's eyes, it will be really interesting to them. If you write a memoir in a book, you've got to be really skilled at writing, because words on a page are fine, but to make them come alive is really difficult. But to just hear people telling stories with all the emotion as well that's in there, whether the stories are sad, whether they're happy, whether they're funny, whether they're stressful, it's something everybody can do. You don't have to be a skilled writer. You don't have to employ a ghostwriter or whatever. You can just literally tell stories, and we all love stories. Human beings love stories, and that's one thing that has never changed. I don't think will ever change. I think everybody has got a story to tell. I've never met, I don't think, anybody in my life that hasn't got a story to tell, and I'm always interested in that. So I get that. People will go, "Oh, I'm just an ordinary person, I've got nothing." Well, so am I. I think you will really enjoy the planning stage. I think you will really enjoy looking back at stuff, listening to stuff, flicking through photos. And as I say, I like that bit. I think it'll encourage people to, relive your memories. It's so easy to do. Yeah, of course, there's the cameras and that. But actually, once you get in and you start talking about the stories and stuff, it's just so relaxed, and that's sort of important. Nothing at all to be frightened of, nothing at all to be stressed about. It's just a bit like, sitting down. I felt it was like me and you sitting down in my front room, having a cup of tea, which we did, and just having a chat.